Hey guys, it's Dave with Entrust Facility Services, and I wanted to make a quick video about good housekeeping. That is, once your space, your office, wherever you're working has been cleaned, how can you maintain cleanliness? Now, this is very, very important because there's a report I've just read in the Cleaning Costs and Frequencies report. This is a national report, talks about the need for cleanliness, and it says here, now this was written before our current scare, but it says, without frequent cleaning and disinfecting, viruses quickly spread around a facility. In fact, within 4 hours, half of the building surfaces and half of the tenants' hands could be contaminated. So that's pretty scary when we think about it. So what can we do as responsible people to make sure that this doesn't happen? So there are basically 3 things we can do. There are more, I'm sure, but 3 things we can do to make sure that we don't contaminate others and they don't contaminate us, right? So we all want to get along. So first is our mask. Now, a typical mask, a lot of these masks, they have these little sort of plastic things, but you know, I don't know if you're like me, maybe I've got a big nose. When I put it on, and even though I squeeze it, it kind of comes out and then I'm breathing up into my eyes, and that will drive you nuts. Plus, that means that you're not actually filtering anything. You're still breathing in the air around you. So one of the things that you can do is if you look at these carefully, you can actually just make a little tiny cut right here and push that plastic insert out. Then what I did, here's mine, I took a bobby pin, a hairpin, and I straightened it out. I measured it to my nose, and then I threaded it back in there, and now every time I change my mask, I do that same thing. Now watch, when I wear this, if I breathe, you can see that the mask is actually doing its job of filtering whatever I'm breathing. And plus, I'm not breathing into my eyes, and that's what makes wearing these things terrible, one of the things. Now also remember, when you have your mask, when you take it off, make sure you spray the outside with a little bit of contaminant, either hydrogen peroxide or alcohol. And when coming to alcohol, so that's your mask. Number 2 are your hands. Now we have been inundated with requests for hand sanitizer, and the reality is that it's a lot easier than you think to make your own. So what you can do is you can go on down to Walmart and get yourself some of these water-based flushables, right? And then buy some isopropyl alcohol and pour a little of that in there, pour enough to get them saturated, and you've got a little sanitizing wipe. Now, what is the difference between isopropyl alcohol and other alcohols? Well, isopropyl alcohol doesn't evaporate as quickly as others, so it means it's easier on your hands. And a lot of people have been putting a lot of almost toxic disinfectants on themselves, and they're having cases of that harming people. Well, remember that alcohol has been around, right, for a long time on the planet, and it's a really good one. Now, if you can't get isopropyl alcohol, you could just use moonshine. And now most moonshine is 90% alcohol, so you could even dilute that a little bit and to get it around 70%. And if you wanted to know the calculation for that, I could send that to you. But that way you have something that you can leave in the high touch areas of your office or your wherever you are, your customer service room, whatever. Now, when we come in and we clean places, we take note of the high touch areas. Why? Because those are really where you're going to pick things up. So door handles. If people are pushing to open doors, that area on the door, refrigerator handle, microwave handle, coffee cup handle if you guys are all having coffee, bathroom door handles. So what you'd want to do is maybe buy a little stack of these, prep them all up, and put one next to every place in your space that is a communal touch point. So for example, in the men's room and the women's room, you can just put a package of those there, and people, after they wash their hands and they see the door handle, they can just take one of these and open the door handle with it. That not only does it protect them, but it cleans that door handle as they're using it. So this is a really good way to protect yourself. So number 1, masks. Number 2, hands, keeping our hands clean. And number 3, can be a little bit surprising, is our feet. You know, when we walk into a space, I can walk into a hospital, I can walk up and down the corridors and not touch anything. Maybe the elevator door button, and people, they have ingenious ways of touching buttons so they don't have to actually touch them. But our feet have been picking up anything that we're walking on. And according to the CDC, this can be an actual way of transmission. So what we might want to do, just a thought, is now when I was a kid in school, we had indoor shoes and outdoor shoes. You could do something similar. You could have shoes that you wear in your office space. In other words, as you come into the office, you take your outdoor shoes off at the door, and a pair of slippers or something that's comfortable for you in your office that you've sprayed down with sanitizer that are going to stay there, and so that floor in your office stays clean. So these are 3 things that we can do to make sure that we don't have any problems going forward. And if you have any questions about this, kindly send me a note and I will reply. Thanks for your time and have a safe day.